In the news tonight, Anambra state government partners with NEMA to provide farm inputs for farmers. Peace advocates seeks collective efforts towards ending global crisis. Nigerian internet users increased to over 114 million in February. On the foreign scene, Ecuador President Moreno says WikiLeaks founder Assange set up a spying center for her London embassy. Good evening and thanks for joining us on ABS Television News. I am Franklin Onyekachi. Now on the news in details. The state government will partner with the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to acquire farm inputs to cushion the effect of last year's flood on farmers. The Commissioner for Agriculture, Mechanization, Processing and Export, Mr. Afam Banefu, announced this during a stakeholders workshop on knowledge sharing organized by the State Coordination Office of FGN IFAD VCDP for its farmers, off-takers, agro-dealers and regulatory agencies at ADP Hall in Oka. Agri-correspondent Ebeleze reports that disbursements to farmers will commence in 1 or 2 weeks' time. The report.
While explaining that they have keyed into various programs like the CBN Anchor Brewers Program, NASAL, Bank of Agriculture, Federal Government IFAD VCDP, FADAMA, ATAP Swan, and many others to recover what they lost to flood last year, Mr. Mbadefe noted that the ministry has already profiled over 3,000 farmers in various locations for NASAL. He, however, added that every activity in the ministry is geared towards the official launch of the 2019 rain-fed farming season.
We want, by the next second quarter, end of second quarter, to be able to develop Anambra State agro farm, as in shops, market, Anambra State agro farm market, and the major cities. But we'll start from Anambra State.
While listing the achievements already recorded, the State Program Coordinator, Federal Government IFAD VCDP, Mr. Namda Guncha, said they have keyed farmers into using certified seeds instead of grains, increased the participation of women and youth involvement in agriculture, among numerous other achievements. Mr. Aguncha, however, announced that the state agro-dealers have signed a memorandum of understanding with the State Commodity Agricultural Forum, CAF, to assist farmers in offsetting 30% out of their 50% input grant.
All the stakeholders in the rice and cassava value chain, they have come together to form this Commodity Agricultural Forum. They are going to help each other, render services. You can hear the agro dealer telling us that they've signed a kind of MOU with the Commodity Agricultural Forum, that they are ready to support our farmers to the tune of 30%.
Speaking on market linkages and the impact of CAF, the state manager of NAI, Mr. Andrew Uzoma, who spoke through one of the marketers, Mr. Richard Ashinze, while urging them to always insure the farms, noted that out of the over 200 million naira indemnity owed state farmers that lost their farm to last year's flood, they only have 8.9 million naira outstanding, assuring that in few weeks' time it will be cleared. The stakeholders' knowledge sharing workshop climaxed with the inspection of the exhibition stand displaying various value addition along rice and cassava value chains. Knowledge, they say, is power. With effective knowledge and information sharing among agri stakeholders in Anambra State farmers have seamlessly advanced to sustainable and mechanized agriculture. From the Agricultural Development Program Office in Oka, I am Ebeleze reporting for ABS News.
All the Catholic parishes in Dunukofia region converged on St. Anthony's Catholic Church, Umudioka, to celebrate the 2019 CHRISM Mass. The Pontifical High Mass, presided over by the Metropolitan Archbishop of Onitsha Ecclesiastical Province, Most Reverend Valerian Okeke, attracted priests, Reverend sisters from different congregations, catechists, clergymen from sister churches, knights and ladies of the church, among others, who gathered to witness the event, which is part of activities marking the Easter celebration, according to the Catholic Church calendar. Amaka Chibuzo Koye has the details.
The Mass featured blessing of 3 different oil, one for the sick, one for the catechumen, and the last CHRISM oil, which will be used for different activities of the church throughout the year. In a homily at the Mass, Most Reverend Okeke said that the Mass, which brought all the priests together, was to show gratitude to God for his mercies upon them in their work of evangelism. Most Reverend Okeke said that the event offers Catholic priests opportunity to renew their vows and rededicate themselves to God. He maintained that the handing over of schools back to churches, which he said took them over 40 years to achieve, stating that it improves morale in the children, give room for competitive and quality education, which makes students from the state perform excellently during competitions. He encouraged especially students of Regina Pass's Secondary School, Onitsha, for making Africa, Nigeria, and Anambra State proud. Most Reverend Okeke further spoke on Holy Eucharist, which he described as strength of the Christians, which he said is a mystery instituted by Christ during the Last Supper.
Sacrament, Holy Eucharist, there were one definition of before me. Mwadeka Benedict Biaso, when I know before me, Nko Nine, Dimona Jesu Christi, well, wenye, Idiwe go see Funanya, Nkechineke from Owa. Funanya, Nkechineke from Madinine.
In his remark, the Episcopal Vicar of Dunukofia, Very Reverend Father Theophilus Odukwe, encouraged in the Dunukofia region to cherish and nurture the Holy Eucharist as the body and blood of Christ, embrace peace and live it out all the days of their lives.
But when we get ourselves fully inserted in the Eucharist, we live the life of Christ. But the Eucharist, even though it is thanksgiving, it also is sacrifice. And you gave his life in order to save us. So that when we are ready to serve others.
Blessing of oil, Eucharistic celebration and thanksgiving, presentation of 2019 pastoral letter, paying of homage to the Archbishop also featured at the event. From Umudioka, Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
The Anglican Bishop of Oka Diocese, the Right Reverend Alexander Ibezim, has called on Christians to embark on evangelism to win more souls for Christ. Bishop Ibezim made the call during his pastoral visit to St. George's Anglican Church, Akweze, an Ocha Council area, to mark the Palm Sunday service. Amaka Chibuzo Koye has the details.
Bishop Ibezim said that Palm Sunday is a moment of aggressive evangelism, more especially in the rural areas, to honor Jesus Christ as spiritual leader and a Messiah who brought peace and liberation to the world. The Anglican bishop emphasized that God is spiritually powerful, noting that the diocese preceded the event with prayer convention in Oka, saying that Palm Sunday begins the Holy Week. Bishop Ibezim further affirmed the good plans of God for Akweze people and prayed God to empower them with more of his presence.
Today we are celebrating the Palm Sunday 2019. This is a moment of sober reflection, especially in our country, Nigeria, and you see all over. There are patches of calamities happening here and there. Now, Palm Sunday is very significant because on a day like this, Jesus rode upon an ass and he was received into Jerusalem as a king. You know, it is very, very important because Jesus demonstrated his kingship. Kingship is necessary.
The bishop was accompanied by his wife, Mrs. Martha Ibezim, his legal secretary, Barrister Felix Uzo, and the traditional ruler of Akweze, represented by the traditional prime minister of Akweze, Chief Felix Anunobi. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
The vicar, All Saints Anglican Church, Nibu, Reverend Thank God Mwankwo, has urged Christians to emulate Jesus Christ's humility in all they do in life. Reverend Mwankwo gave this charge at the Divine Grace Chapel, Nibu, during a service to commemorate this year's Palm Sunday. Chibuzo Okoye has a report.
Delivering a sermon at the service, Reverend Nwankwo, who said that the triumphant entry into Jerusalem by the Lord Jesus Christ is historical because of his humility, charged Christians to always live Christ-like life for them to attain true salvation. Reverend Nwankwo equally warned faithfuls who live worldly life to retrace their steps, as God can never be moved by their superficial worship, and called on them to be ready to answer God's call at any given time.
Superficial worship is dangerous. Superficial worship is dangerous. Ya bụ okpukpe nke na-abaghị n'obi jọrọ njọ. Okpukpe nke na-abaghị n'obi ma ọ bụ nke na-esighị n'obi pụta. Okpukpe nke iru abụọ, okpukpe nke anya na-afụ, ọ bụ ife jọrọ njọ.
The Anglican clergyman who praised retired Justice Chinyere Anambra and his siblings who built the Divine Grace Chapel reiterated the need for Christians to use their wealth, talent, and time to serve God and humanity. Speaking to the ABS after the church service, retired Justice Chinyere Anambra said that they built the chapel in honor of their late parents and urged Christians to keep their faith alive, so that the triumphant entry into Jerusalem by Jesus Christ will defeat all satanic manipulations in their lives. Justice Anambra charged Christians to be dedicated to their faith, as according to him, Christianity is facing a lot of problems in the recent time.
Christ died for us. The triumphant entry was and is for us. We should take the benefit of that, so that the triumph of Jesus Christ will defeat all satanic influences in our lives, in our country, in our community, and in the Church of Christ, because the Church of Christ is at the crossroads right now. So that it's my belief that today, as Christians call upon God, that God will hear our cry and come to the rescue of this nation, so that this Palm Sunday will not be in vain.
From Nibo, in Oka South local government area, it's been Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
Internet users in Nigeria increased marginally to more than 114 million in February 2019, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) has revealed. The NCC made this known today in its monthly internet subscribers data for February, posted on its website. The data showed that overall internet users increased to 114,725,335 in February, from 113,875,204 recorded in January, showing an increase of 850,153 new subscribers. Potential in ICT sector shows Nigeria's readiness to digital economy. The Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Agency has put the country's daily supply of premium motor spirit, otherwise known as petrol, at 56 million liters. In a statement signed in Abuja by the Executive Secretary Abdulkadir Seidu, PPPRA, said that daily supply of petrol in the country grew from 46 million liters per day in 2017 to 54 million liters in 2018, before peaking at 56 million liters in 2019. Seidu said that based on the availability of the product, there was no need for panic buying. Seidu urged Nigerians to disregard panic buying, as there was adequate supply of the product in the system to meet the demands of consumers. The World Bank had, in a recent report, said that Nigeria had spent 731 billion naira in 2018 to subsidize inflated petrol imports.
Of Ezebo Microfinance Bank Limited, formerly Umudioka Community Bank, Afigo Market.
And now on the foreign scene, President Lenin Moreno has accused WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange of setting up Center for Spying from Ecuador's London embassy. Assange's lawyer said her client will cooperate with Swedish authorities if they reopen the rape case against him. The Ecuadorian president has defended his decision to withdraw Julian Assange's asylum status, saying that the WikiLeaks founder had tried to set up a spying center from the diplomatic mission in London. On Thursday, UK police announced the arrest of Assange following the Ecuadorian government's withdrawal of asylum. Assange pleaded not guilty to the charge of breaking the terms of his bail in 2012 when he sought refuge at the embassy in London, but was convicted nevertheless. He will be sentenced at a later date when he will face a maximum sentence of 12 months in prison for the offense. Family, friends, and well-wishers, including the ABS family, turned out en masse to commiserate with the family of Obidike during the burial of their mother, the late Mrs. Elizabeth Abowacha Obidike, at Anako, Ayamelum local government area. The late Mrs. Obidike was the mother of Mr. Afam Obidike of the Administration Department, Anambra Broadcasting Service. Kene Chukwuchukwode has the details.
The Requiem Mass for late Mrs. Abohocha was held at St. Joseph Catholic Church, Anako. In his homily, Reverend Father Anthony Okum reminded all that life on earth is a passage and stressed the need for Christians to live consciously and righteously according to God's teaching.
She lived a good life, and now that's why we are all here today to celebrate her, and she has gone to rest in heaven. The way you live your life is the way you will draw people to yourself or draw people away from you.
The eldest son of the deceased, Mr. Afam Obidike, who recalled memories shared with his mother, including a journey to Abia State when they were stranded due to vehicle breakdown, and she did everything to protect and sacrifice for them, and urged all to always love and do their best for their mother while alive.
My mom was just like the greatest woman I've ever seen. So humble. She do everything to make sure that the children had better education.
Two other sons of the deceased, Mr. Chudi Obidike, a superintendent of police, and Emeka Obidike, said they shared a lot of good times with their mother, especially her laughter and encouragement, which they said saw them to university education and urged all to live a legacy-inspired life. In their condolence message, the head of finance of ABS, Mrs. Nneka Ubuonwu, and a superintendent of police, Mr. Ismail Numan, said the deceased lived a virtuous life by the way she raised all her 5 children to become responsible citizens, and urged them to keep her legacy alive by living humbly, praying God to console them.
As one family.
Our parents are so dear to us. When we come up, they are the ones that brought us up, especially the place of the mother in his person's heart. There is nothing I can tell him that will make him feel less of the grave, but just to bear heart. He should take heart, he should understand that that is God's willing.
Late Mrs. Elizabeth Obidike died at the age of 72 years and survived by her husband and 5 children. From Anako, Ayamelum local government area, it's been Kenechukwu Chukwudi for ABS News.
And that's the size of our news package tonight. But remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV Online. Follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And to end the news, another look at the top stories. Anambra State government is to partner with NEMA to provide farm inputs for farmers. Peace advocates seeks collective efforts towards ending global crisis. Nigerian internet users have increased to over 114 million in February. And on the foreign scene, we reported that Ecuadorian President Moreno says WikiLeaks founder Assange has set up a spying center from her London embassy. And that's the news. I'm Franklin Onyekachi, thanking you for watching. Good night, and do have a pleasant night rest.